vAuto has definitely changed the way we operate our business. In the past, we would buy cars just to buy cars. We would expect a customer to buy a car from us just because we had a nice looking one. It was polished nice. It was recon nice. It drove nice, and we sort of ignored what the market was on the car. And now we look at we try to focus our energy on what the customer is looking for, and have the right product on the shelf for the customer, have the right color, have the right options, and most importantly, have a price that's competitive in our market. Maintaining gross in today's market is very tough in the used car market, because the customer has access to everybody's pricing, and like new cars, it's been a little bit of a race to the bottom. It's whoever will sell the car at a cheaper price. Having the tools at your disposal and being able to see what the competitors are pricing the car at has allowed us to maintain a decent gross, and not so much focus on gross per car or gross per unit, but focus more on total gross of a department, and turn the car, rather than make $4,000 or $3,000 or even $2,000 gross profit on one car, maybe settling for a $1,200 gross on that same car, and turning it 2 or 3 times in a month rather than selling that higher gross car one time in a month. The velocity principle. When we went to NEDA last year, we were introduced to the Real Deal product, and looking at the product just made sense to us from the standpoint of being transparent to the consumer. With the internet today, whether you want to be or not, you're transparent to the consumer, and the more you can show the customer the price that you have in a car and where you stand in the market of the car, it just makes the whole selling process easier. And the Real Deal tool was obvious to us that this was just a tool that would help us be more transparent in the market. The Real Deal product has helped us maintain gross because, many times when a customer is getting ready to leave your dealership, it isn't because he or she necessarily is getting a bad deal on a car. They just don't know what deal they're getting on the car, if it's a good or a bad deal. So in the past, customers would leave your dealership or attempt to leave your dealership, and to keep them there, the first thing we would do, or the salesperson would do, would be to, if I can get you the car at less money, would you buy it? Well, today, being able to use Real Deal shows a customer that they are getting a good deal. When the customer says, I need to go home and think about it, really what they're telling you in most cases is they're not convinced they were getting a good deal, and they're going to go home and shop you. They go home and look at the competition. Well, with Real Deal, they can look at the competition in your showroom and realize that, yeah, of course they are getting a good deal. Like any new tool, when Real Deal was initially introduced to our salespeople, they were a little bit skeptical. They felt that we were maybe giving too much information to the customer, showing them, where the cars were and how everybody was priced, and after we explained to them and showed them that the customer's getting that information, if they're not getting it from us, they're gonna give you that canned statement to say, I need to go home and think about it, or talk to my spouse, or pray, or whatever it is they do to leave your dealership. They're going home to look on the computer and to do the same thing Real Deal does, to see if the price you gave them was competitive. And if it was competitive, of course they come back. If they find you weren't competitive, you don't get a second chance. They then go to the competitor that had it cheaper, and you lose a customer. Whereas if you show the Real Deal to them, you at least have an opportunity to defend your price to the customer and explain to them why yours might be a little bit more money. Maybe it's the right color, maybe it's the right model, or the right options, and so on. That's the reason that you may be priced a little bit higher than the market on that particular car. Consumers have been conditioned in our market, and probably in most markets, that they negotiate on price, and we're not a one-price store, and may never be a one-price store. But what Real Deal has helped us to do is narrow the negotiation gap. In the past, we'd mark a car up, $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, and allow the salespeople to negotiate with a customer, and give a discount of $2,000 or $3,000 in some cases, and it's a win-win for us and the customer. With Real Deal, and I guess the internet in general today, you have to put your best price forward, or you don't get the traffic to start with. So you don't have that room to negotiate $3,000 or $4,000, or in some cases even $300 or $400 on a particular car and still be able to make some gross on the car. So Real Deal has certainly allowed us to narrow that negotiation from thousands to hundreds, or in some cases, hold the asking price of the car and throw in a set of mud flaps, or in some cases throw in nothing, justify that, geez, we already got the best price in the market. We can't negotiate on this price at all. vAuto has helped us to understand that what we think the customer wants may be vastly different from what the customer is really looking for, and what the customer is willing to pay for that product once you buy it.